Hi there, Mike Brady with Generosity Wealth Management, a comprehensive, full service financial services firm headquartered here in Boulder, Colorado. Today is our halftime report. Half the year is gone, half to go. Want to talk a little technical about it, but I'm going to be very philosophical today as well. Before I go on, you're probably wondering what's up with my backdrop there. I'm in a hotel room. My uncle, my very favorite uncle, is not doing well. He had a heart transplant about 8 years ago. He's in his 70s. And, I'm very fortunate that I can continue working with clients and with my chosen profession anywhere that I have a video, my iPad, and internet. And so this is the hotel room. This is actually the very best backdrop that I could find here as I'm doing the video, and I want to get this newsletter out to you, which, kind of reminds me, this is where I kind of get philosophical is the first 20 years of my 35-year career, I wore a suit and went to an office. And I made a proactive choice that, hey, I want to make an impact in the world. I want to live my life. I want to support my family when they're sick or when they have other needs. And that's real important to me. And you too might be the same way. You want to support your children, your grandchildren. You want to support your loved ones. Perhaps your goals and purpose in life is for you to travel, for you to ensure that your needs are met, that upon retirement, as you transition from fully working to not working or retiring, that you don't outlive your money, that you have the dignity to make the decisions that you have to pass on your money to the next generation or to charities or whatever it is that you're going to do with your money. You've got your goals as well. And I have very few people that I run across who wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I want to think about finances. Oh, I want to think about my financial plan. I want to think about investments." No, those are the kind of the means to the end. Those are the processes that get us to what our purpose is. We say here at Generosity Group, at Generosity Wealth Management, we align wealth with purpose and possibility. And it's real important to know what your purpose and those possibilities, maybe even those things that you haven't thought of up till now, that you're shooting for. I mean, it's like a watch. Most of us care about the hour hand, the minute hand, the second hand. Do you really care about the gears underneath that make it happen? Or of course, in today's world of digital, all the electronics that no, you care that it does the right time, that it gets you to where you want to go when you want to be there. Okay, that's all you really care about. And that's what we do here is we are trying to align the pieces of your life with the reality of the world in order to get to where you want to go in a reasonable time. And if somebody else gets there first, if somebody gets there later, it doesn't really matter. You worry about your approach and your goals and your purpose. And that's really what we're doing. Generosity Wealth Management, we're dealing with the wealth management to get you there. Generosity estate planning is that dignity part. Once again, while you're living, estate planning, generosity estate planning, run by a 25-year veteran of the law firm of legal. She got her law degree in 1999, working towards uh, your plans while you're living and after you die. And then we do the same thing for business owners as well through a division that we don't talk about that much here on the videos called Generosity Business Exit Planning, working with business owners as they get their businesses transition ready to pass on to the next generation or to sell or it's just transition ready and making sure that you're ready as well so that the success that you've had up till now in your business continues to significance after you no longer have that business. But that being said, it's just good for us to remember that the things that make us successful, and I work with clients with lots of zeros after the number, with lots of commas, and those with less commas and less zeros. And it doesn't matter because the the formula for success that I have seen, this is just my opinion, that I have seen is the same with whether you have lots of zeros or less zeros, is emotional control, knowing what your duration is, what's your time horizon, having some discipline. Okay. I mean, these are some of the big things that I have found And 80% of reaching your goals is clearly defining what the goal is. What are you trying to do? What is it, to live your life to support your kids? Is it to retire at a certain time in your life? I mean, and then we backfill it with the investments, and then we backfill it with what are the things that are going to derail you from that plan that we need to proactively discuss. The things that we're trying to avoid are not the thing that we're going towards. The investments are not this just the vehicle to get to where we want to go. And I think that that's real important for us to keep that picture in mind. So it's halfway through the year. The first quarter was not good. The second quarter bailed the whole year out, and all the unmanaged stock market indexes are positive for the year, depending on whether or not you're a large growth, which was the number one sector last year. Large growth is the lagging one this year. Okay, it's up, but it's not up very much. It's just that simple. The best one last year was not the good one so far this year. And so it's kind of all over depending on where you are. If you're small value, you're the winner this year. Okay, really good this year in that particular sector. It was a laggard last year. Okay, I mean that's just the reality that they go in and out. And so diversification is a really important part of it. That's one of the things that I said something earlier about, keys for success. One of the things I forgot to say is liquidity. You got to make sure that you've got good liquidity, you got a good mix. You're really keeping your eye on the variables that matter towards reaching your goals, whatever they might be, because every person has slightly different goals. Um, the unmanaged bond indexes are slightly higher this year, but once again, they counteract, they have a stabilizing effect on, many times on what the equity markets, the stock markets are doing. So I think it's real important that the first quarter is not everything. Okay, when I talk with people sometimes at the beginning of April after the quarter's over, they're like, "Oh my God, there's going to be obviously a bad year." No, that's not true. The second quarter bailed out the first quarter. I mean, that's just reality. Um, and the first half, which is positive, doesn't mean that this year will be negative, or sorry, but will be positive. Just because the first half has been positive, that doesn't mean that the second half will be. Okay, this is the reason why we have to keep our time horizon and our duration in key. I've got this chart that I'm going to put up on the screen. It's my new favorite chart. I just found in the last couple of days. But as you can see, a diversified portfolio of 60% stock and 40% bonds, unmanaged uh, index of bonds and stocks, etc., is the farther out you go, the longer your time horizon. I mean, in one day, you can flip a coin, whether or not it's positive or negative. But if you go out 1 week, your odds, really increase that it's going to be positive. Okay, this is the graph of how historically, going back to 1989. So that's 90s, 2000, that's 35, 36, 37, 35, 37 years. There we go. Got to do the math right here on the video. And so when we go out 1 month, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years, look at from left to right there, the longer your time horizon, the longer your emotional control, you're staying with your plan of a diversified portfolio, um, as referenced by this unmanaged indexes, the better your odds are of at least breaking even. Okay, and of course the goal is not to break even. You could do that by putting it in the bank. It's by having at least control of the downside, which is what a lot of people um, worry about. If that's all you worry about, you're probably not my client. Okay, it might be one thing that you're worried about, but I'm always directing you towards the thing that I think might be most helpful. So as we go into the second half of this year, I've already laid out a couple of the next month's worth of videos. We're gonna talk about some technical stuff. We're gonna talk about Trump accounts. We're gonna talk about things that you might be hearing in the media. That's one of the reasons why I don't get too technical in these videos, is because you've got all the technical information in the world. Just turn on the TV. It's 24/7. Pick up a newspaper. You got all the technical stuff that you want. I want you to know the things that, we can sit here and talk about the tools, a hammer, a nail, gun, a wrench. That doesn't really help you build a house. Okay, that doesn't have the wisdom to build a house if you know what the individual tools are. We got to say, wow, how do these things all fit together in order for me to have the dream house that I want? And we want you to have the dream life that you want to live. And so if I obsess over the tools, which is what many of the newspapers and the TV, because it's really kind of sexy to talk about that, then we're not really getting to the end result, which is let's live your purpose. Let's live that life of legacy, that life of significance that you want to have, and be able, if you need to support your family, to be able to, at a moment's notice, fly across the country in order to be there for them. That's really what we're trying to do. And whether the markets are up 1 month or 1 quarter, um, we'll handle those details. We'll work with you to find something that fits with what you want to do. And I'm hoping that you understand that, and that you always call, that we're always in good relationship, so that we can have a frank conversation about where you're going, so we can help guide you towards that. Michael Brady, Generosity Wealth Management, 303-747-6455. Give us a call at any time. I'm here, Felicia's here, Autumn, Evan, Cassidy, Sarah. We're here to support you in where you want to go, and for the rest of this year. So have a wonderful, wonderful anniversary of our great country, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.